All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Win That Listing presentation. This is a training on a listing presentation, what to do once you get that listing appointment, and how to secure yourself that you do indeed get that listing from the potential seller. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves, ask questions in the chat. This is meant to be an interactive training. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We have lots to cover today. All right, so congratulations. You have that listing appointment, whether it was the lead or a referral or someone that you were prospecting and they invited you over to the house. Now what? What do you need to do in order to win that listing? And that's what this class is about. All right, so I'm gonna go through the process of building that listing presentation. All right, so and then also the listing agreement inside of our Form Simplicity program. So we are going to use several programs today. We're going to use the MLS. We're also going to use IMAP. We're going to use RPR. We're also going to use Agent 3000 and even Form Simplicity. So if you are new, you may ask, where are all these programs located? Of course, it's inside of your Miami gateway. So once you guys are members of the Association of Realtors, of course, you're going to log in right here to the Miami gateway. And that's going to get you access to all these tools and services. All right, so when I access one of these tools, I'll point out which tool we're going to open first, and we're going to let you know. All right, so we're going to begin first with a tool called IMAP. And the reason why is because it's a public record system, guys. If you have a listing appointment, the property is not yet listed on the MLS. So how do you find information on a property that's not on the MLS? Is using a public record system like IMAP. Now, you can use IMAP, you can use Realist, you can use RPR, you can even go to the county website to find out more information on a property because it is public records. But as realtors, we like to use programs like IMAP to help us identify the value of the property and do further research. All right, so we're going to go ahead and click on IMAP. That's going to open up this screen right here. Now, I am using the new version of IMAP. Okay, so those of you that open up IMAP and you're looking at an older version, there will be a little link at the top that says continue to the new version. I've already began using the new version for about a month now. I really like it, and that's the version I decide I want to use today. Okay, so I got off the phone with the potential seller. We have an appointment. It's going to be this Friday. It's going to be at their home, and I want to make sure that I'm ready. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for the property address inside of IMAP because we're going to perform a little study on the property. And we're going to make sure that we are in tax search and that we are in Miami-Dade County or the county that the property is located in. And simply type in the address of the property. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the address of the property, which is shown here on the screen. And then we're going to go ahead and click on enter, and it's going to give us the property inside of IMAP. All right, now this property is sitting on 7,529 square feet of lot space. All right. And then all the way down here, you will see the property characteristics. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, almost 2,000 living area square footage. So 1,993 was built in 1979. It is 1 unit. All right, up here, you are going to see the sales history on the property and when it was last sold and at what price. So this property last sold in 2016 for $342,000. Now, there is an estimated current value for the property here on IMAP, and it's $749,837, so almost $750. Now, once again, that's an estimated value. We are actually going to try and find the comparative value, right? The market value based on comps. And for that, we're going to go up here to where it says find comparables on the right, and we're going to go ahead and click on find comparables. All right. Now, I have my comparison criteria set to my defaults, which is always going to be a lot square foot difference of 20%. a building area square foot difference of 20%, located within half a mile of the subject property, and sold within the last 6 months. Okay, that is my default criteria. If you don't have it that way, you can set it and then simply click on update criteria. It's going to then update your criteria. Based on this criteria, I was able to locate 3 comparables in a half a mile radius from my subject property. All right. The low end is $609,000. The high end is $783,000, and the average is 710. For those of you that don't know how this is calculated, it is based on price per square foot. So the lowest price per square foot of my 3 sales is $291.14 a square foot. So using this value multiplied times the size of the home, you are going to get 609,400. And then when you use the highest price per square foot, which is 374, you get 783. And then the average of all 3, you'll look over here on the right, the average is $339 a square foot. And you grab that value and you get 710. All right, so we have a good idea what the property could be worth based on the 3 comparables we found. It could be anywhere between 609 and 783. Now, of course, what is the conditions of the home? Has the home been fully remodeled, fully updated? What is the conditions of the market? And for the conditions of the market, we are going to use the MLS to run what's called a 1004 MC report to look at the conditions of the market. I am going to show you how to evaluate a property exactly like an appraiser would, without the elements of going inside and evaluating the property based on the conditions of the home on the inside. I am going to show you how to do a full market analysis just like an appraiser would. Okay, so right here we have 710,000 is your average, and then 783 is your highest. So keeping this in mind, we're going to go over here to Matrix, right? Where is Matrix? Of course, it is the MLS, and it's right here. All right, we're going to open up Matrix, and what we're going to run right now is called a 1004 MC report. And for that, we're going to go to More, Market Reports. And then we're going to go ahead and click on the Market Conditions 1004 MC. Here, we're going to mark active and we're going to mark closed, and we're going to set the closed date to 365 days. So 0 to 365 is a 1-year time frame. We're going to click on single family home. And then for the distance, we're going to switch this to half a mile from the address that we are studying today. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit enter, and then we're going to go ahead and click on the address. Okay, notice everything that happened. All right, we entered the address, we click on entered, and then we selected the address, and now in red, it says map area selected. If you want to confirm, just go ahead and click on map search and see it. You see, that's the center point. That's my half a mile radius around that center point. All right, we're done. We're just going to go now and click on generate report. We want to see what the market conditions are within a half a mile radius. So it's important for us to understand these numbers because you see them in every appraisal report performed by any appraiser. You have here the first 6 months of your study, the next 3 months, and then the last 3 months. The first line is the number of sales. The second line is the number of sales divided by the number of months. That is your absorption rate. The third line is the number of active listings currently on the market. And then the fourth line is the months of housing supply. How much inventory is there left? All right, and then down here, you do have the comparative median sales price. You have your days on market. and you have your list price, and then you have your list price days on market, and then you have your median sales price versus median list price. So let's take a look. In the last 3 months, there were 3 sales within a half a mile of this property. When you divide 3 sales by 3 months, you get 1 property per month. That's your absorption rate. All right. Not much has changed. 1 property per month, 1.5 properties per month, 1 property per month. All right. So the speed here in the market is that they're selling 1 property per month pretty much for the last year. Okay. The inventory sits at 3 right now. So currently there are 3 properties that are active in this area. Okay. That gives us 3 months of inventory, right? I mean, if we're selling 1 property per month and we currently have 3 properties active, that means we're going to take about 3 months to sell the 3 properties based on numbers, right? Now, I want you guys to take a look. 3 months is usually the very top end of a seller's market. Anywhere from 0 to 3 months is considered a seller's market. 4, 5, or 6 months is considered a balanced market. And then 7 or more months is considered a buyer's market, right? Advantage buyer versus advantage seller. So where were we 3 months ago? We were at 1 month of inventory. And to begin the year, the first 6 months, we were at 5. So we went from a balanced market down to a seller's market. So advantage seller. So keeping that in mind, keeping this price in mind, right? If we are in a seller's market, you should be listing somewhere around the higher end. If we are in a buyer's market, we should be listing somewhere around the average. Okay. All right. So going back down here, you're going to look and you're going to see that properties are selling at 94% of the original list price. Before, they were selling at almost 100% of the original price. It dropped to 96, then dropped to 94. The list prices are pretty much equal, right? 702 down to 564 and then up to 635. Now, I want to tell you this median sales price is not really reflecting what's happening in the market. It may be that the 3 sales that were found were very low, and that's why you get a reading of 470. But it should be somewhere around the mid 7s, right? 745, 720, maybe 700, 710, just like IMAP was saying. All right. So it could very well be that these 3 sales in this last quarter were a lot lower in price. All right. So this is the conditions of the market. Learn how to read whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. That's the most important factor in this study. All right. So from there, we're going to go ahead and move into RPR. And we want to create that listing presentation, that CMA report. Okay. So from IMAP, you guys are going to look for the RPR logo, and it's going to be right over here on the right-hand side. Do you guys see it? I'm hovering right over it. Just so you know, RPR can also be accessed from your Miami gateway by selecting RPR. All right, we're going to go here to IMAP, and we're going to go ahead and click on RPR, and it's going to try and open a new page with the property details. And the reason why I say try is because sometimes you get an error and you have to try again. Usually on the second try, you will get the property. In this case, it took me right to the property, which I'm happy. All right. So here's your subject property. This is the Google Street View of the subject property. Now, off to the right, you will see what's called an RVM, which is an estimated value, and it actually has 5 stars. So RPR actually thinks the property is worth a lot more. Okay. Now, of course, this is an estimated value, and we actually want to run our own CMA. So to run our own CMA, we're going to go ahead and click on Create a CMA. Don't go by estimated values. If I were to go by estimated values, we have 822 on IMAP, sorry, on the RPR system, and we would have a different value on IMAP. We want to run a CMA. So let's click on create a CMA. All right, we're going to go ahead and confirm the facts of the home. That would be step number one. All right, are there any differences in the home? So the public record says that this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom property with 1,993 square feet. If you can confirm that it actually has more bedrooms and more bathrooms, or the property is larger, on the right-hand side where it says your changes, you will place your changes. Okay. We're going to go ahead and click on confirm facts and close. And now we move on to step number 2, which is find comparables. All right, so we are going to be looking for single family homes, right, that are active, pending, active, under contract, and closed. We're going to go ahead and search in the last 6 months, just like we did on IMAP. And we're going to go ahead and put in a minimum of 3 bedrooms with a minimum of 2 bathrooms. And we're going to make sure that we check lot size. It is important in any CMA we run that we always include lot size as our criteria. All right, so we check lot size, and now we click on search. These are the comps in the area. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and show you how to draw a radius of 1/2 mile. So stand right on the subject property and go ahead and drag out a radius of 0.50. And then go ahead and click on search in this area. All right, that is how you draw a radius. You got a rectangular shape, right? You got a radius and you have a polygon. You can also use geography. You can use within the same neighborhood. Okay, that's micro neighborhood. If I was to click there, that would be the neighborhood here called West Garden in Fontainebleau. All right, so you can actually do this one. I'm going to stay with that radius that I was drawing. All right, I'm going to stay with that radius. Let's go out 0.50, and then let's release it, and let's click on search in this area. Here are the comparables. Now, I can tell you one thing. We are not going to use this sale of 227,600. That obviously is not a fair amount for a property in this area. I mean, you're looking at 720 and 650, and then something sold for 227. That's a great deal, or that's a tear down, right? I mean, you have to know more about it. You got to go ahead and click on it and find out. So I'm going to click on this one, and we're going to go ahead and click on this one, and we're between 580 and 745. Okay. There is one pending over here. We're going to go ahead and select that pending one as well. All right. Let's click on update valuation and close, and we should get somewhere around $700,000. We didn't. We got 626. All right. So you see how all these estimated values should not be accounted for. Now, how can we fix this? Of course, you can always go back and we can search for more comps. What can I do to search for more comps? You click on edit, you click on modify, and then you have here last 6 months. Let's just try in 1 year. See if anything else shows up in a year. All right, yes, we do. We have more. We have one property here, and it sold for 830,000. We have one here for 745. All right. We have here one for 767. We have here one for 568. And we have one last one for 610. Guys, I'm going to tell you why I extended it out to 1 year. If we're selling one property per month for the entire year, what are the chances we're going to get a lot of comparables? All right. So remember, comparables are similar properties. So when we did this market conditions, we didn't look at similar properties. We just said, give me all single family homes sold within the last year. And basically we got 7 plus 5, that's 12 plus 3, that's 15. 15 sales in the last year. That's a little bit over one property per month. So that's why I actually went out to 12 months. And now I'm able to get a better reading by selecting all the comparables minus that very low one. And we're at 712. All right. What price did IMAP give me as an average? Guys, anyone? I'm going to show you. All right. So IMAP gave me $710,000. RPR gives me an average of 712,000. So I am now pretty confident in the price of my subject property. Okay. Now the rest is really up to you. What conditions of the property is, and of course the seller. What price is the seller looking to sell their home at? They need to be a little realistic. Okay. So they overprice their home. They need to be ready to stay on the market for quite some time. So as a professional, you can recommend a price by clicking on number 4 and then clicking on edit and then just put in here $799,900. All right, I'm going to go ahead and recommend a higher price, and it says recommended price of $799,900. Okay. All right, so that's your average. That's my recommended price. Then click on create a report. Guys, this report is a must when you go to a listing presentation. It's a seller's report from RPR. Okay, it's a seller's report from RPR. Now, I want you guys to open here because it says approximately 81 pages long. You do not need 81 pages. Start removing some of the factors or elements of the report that you really do not wish to use. All right, only you can view your report and decide for yourself which factors of that report you like to remove. Okay. Once you remove it and you run a report on RPR, it's going to stick. It's going to save as a default. You don't have to constantly remove these elements. All right. Lastly, we're just going to go ahead and click on run report, and my report shall be ready in a few minutes. All right. So that would be step 1, is creating my CMA report. Now, how many of you here have heard of Agent 3000? Of course you have. We've had training before. Agent 3000 is this like do-it-all program. You have marketing, you have CRM, you have an email, and like an email platform. You also have a website. Okay. We're going to use Agent 3000 to build our other half of our listing presentation. This is the CMA report, right? Let's go ahead and show you. This is the CMA report. But we also want to build a second half to our presentation, which is actually going to be the first half of our presentation using Agent 3000. And I'll show you how to do that real quickly. But let's take a look at the CMA report. So here we have the address of the property. We have our picture, our company logo, and our information on the front page. Second, here we have our recommended value of almost $800,000. All right, it's going to give you a CMA map showing where we pulled our comps from, and then our side-by-side values of our comps, and then one individual page for each comparable we chose. Oof, we should remove that one, right? I mean, our price is going to be higher. This is pending, and that property is absolutely not a comparable. So let me go through this report, and then I'll show you how to remove this and generate the report once again. All right, I should have looked at the properties. Anyway, so here is your report, right? And then at the bottom, you're going to have your recommended price and your average of your comparables. Now I'm going to go back to RPR, guys. I didn't really like that property for $475. So how do I remove it? Well, you're going to come over here and you're going to click on your property address, right? Then you're going to go to CMA. And we're going to go ahead and edit that CMA. So right here, we're going to click on where it says search for comps. We're going to click on edit. And we're going to go ahead and remove the property that sold for $475. All right, where is it? There it is. All right, remove it, hit OK, update valuation and close. I'm gonna get a higher average. I'm sure of it. All right, we have a higher average now, 745. And then just go ahead and rerun the report again, right? Rerun the report. Go ahead and click on create a report, run it, and it will be ready again in 2 minutes. All right, so that is how you can remove a property. You go back to the CMA of that same property, edit the CMA, and remove that property. All right. So as we wait for this report, I'm gonna go ahead and show you now well, there is a report. It's the same report, it's just gonna have a different value, right? It's gonna have a different value. All right, why did it come out smaller? I know why. So while we wait for that report, I'm gonna go ahead and show you Agent 3000. All right, so here inside of Agent 3000, once again, that's here, right? You guys want to have this done already. Like you can go, even if you're not actively waiting to go to a listing presentation, you guys want to go ahead and run one of these reports and get it ready. In Agent 3000, the first thing you guys want to do, because I want to help you brand yourselves, is that you want to go to your settings at the top. You want to make sure that all the information is entered correctly, and you want to hit Save Account Profile. Also, please visit the logo section and upload Elite's logo. And then visit your photo section and upload your photo. So your branding will be part of your marketing presentation. All right. Next, we're going to go here on the left-hand side and we're going to click on brand and market. And we're going to go ahead and click on branded ebooks. Today's not an Agent 3000 class, guys. Today is just, I'm going to show you how to build that excellent listing presentation. Okay, so we're going to click on branded ebooks and we're going to click on one called Seller Guide. There are 4 different guides you can create. I have all 4 already created down here. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and create the Seller Guide. You are going to add your profile photo and your logo. And then those of you that have a biography already written out, go ahead and look for your biography, copy and paste it onto this here. And then click on create an ebook. Here is my seller guide. I'm going to go ahead and open the PDF. Of course, you're going to download it to your computer, okay? This is part of your listing presentation. You should also include this with this report, right? I would include this report first, and then this report last. So this is a report or a presentation, says Home Seller Guide, presented by Robert Rodriguez, and my information. It's going to have here a little table of contents. It's going to take the potential seller through an entire presentation discussing your needs, discussing your home, market conditions. Remember, we ran our CMAs, right? Organization and maintenance, interior, exterior. All right, lockbox and sign. Of course, we are going to provide a for sale sign to market the property. And if needed, we're going to place the property on a lockbox. Which lockbox shall we use? You should always invest in a Supra electronic lockbox. So when you do have a listing and you are planning on placing it on a lockbox, please visit the Miami Association of Realtors office and purchase a lockbox. Please do not use combination lockboxes, especially for a listing that's for sale. Okay. You see a lot of rental listings out there with combo lockboxes. Even those are in violation. You are in violation if you use a combination lockbox, I want to tell you. Okay. You should use an electronic super lockbox. And then you want to talk to them about photos and videos, you know, what you're going to be doing if you're going to hire a professional photographer to take photos and videos. Then open house. All right, any open houses you're gonna have at the property, of course, be prepared to let them know that you're gonna have an open house every weekend until you sell the property. That's what they want to hear. You know, they want to hear that you're gonna do your effort to sell the property, that you're just not gonna let it sit there. So let them know that we're gonna have an open house every weekend until we sell the property. Uh, let them tell you, not this weekend, we're busy with family. All right, but you know, otherwise, just promise them that you'll have an open house every weekend. Benefits of proper pricing, drawbacks of overpricing, all of this is going to help you explain, you know, your professional opinion on the property. Home inspection and appraisal, let them know that once under contract, an inspection of the property will occur, and let them know what it entails, right? And then also let them know that most likely an appraisal will also happen. And what are the chances that, you know, we move forward with the transaction after an inspection? And what are the chances that we move forward with a transaction after appraisal? And then lastly, it's going to be your bio. So you're all about you, your biography. And then the last page of this presentation is your contact information. Extremely professional, guys. This is what a listing presentation should look like. So again, you're going to download this to your computer. You're going to download the RPR CMA report to your computer, and you're going to combine both. This is 16 pages long. This one was 14 pages. So now you have 30 pages in your CMA report. It is important that we sell ourselves first before we talk pricing. Wouldn't you agree? You want them to like you first. You want them to say, I want to hire Robert to sell my property. And then go ahead and introduce to them what we think the property is worth. If you start the conversation with pricing and they don't like your pricing, they don't even want to hear about who you are and your experiences. Do you guys agree? All right. So we have both downloaded to our computer. We combine them. Remember, you can always combine two PDFs into one. All you need to do is select both PDFs, and you want to right click and you want to go ahead and merge both PDFs into one. Next step, of course, is you want to go to your presentation with a pre-filled listing agreement. Guys, don't let them think about it. Don't let them think about it. So how do we get a listing agreement pre-filled? You're going to go to Form Simplicity, right? So how do we open Form Simplicity? It's right here. It's in your gateway, and it's Form Simplicity. Click on it, and it opens up Form Simplicity. All right. And since we do not have a property on, this property is not on the MLS, then we have to start in Form Simplicity by clicking on Start a New Transaction. All right, so we're going to click on Start a New Transaction. The address of the property, once again, let's put it in here. And then we're going to name the transaction exactly the same. And then I'm just going to put in here hyphen listings class, just so I know that this is not a real transaction. Okay. All right. Property type, residential. Transaction type, listing. I almost selected purchase, but this is not a purchase. It's a listing. Now, which package from down below should I select? All right, remember, we have built packages for you. All right, we are going to select the exclusive right to sell package. That is our listing agreement package. You have other packages here. Just click on next and it'll show you the purchase package. All right, we're just going to go ahead and click on create transaction. And now we have a transaction created. Begin with the list price. What do you want your list price to be? Well, we mentioned that we recommend $799,900. So leave this part blank. All right. If you're gonna take this and you're gonna take it with you so we can get that listing on that same appointment, then leave the list price blank. Let them dictate, hey, Robert, I actually want to list it for $815,000 and you agree, then write it in. Now, if you're preparing the listing agreement because you already know the price you're going to list it at, then you want to place the price here. Okay. So we're going to put in 815,000 as the list price. Now we're going to click here where it says show more data. And I want you guys to notice here's the information, but we're missing things like the legal description and everything else. How can we get all this information pre-filled? You're going to click on import property data right here. And then it is not an MLS search. It's going to be what? A tax search. We're going to open here. We're going to select the county is Miami-Dade. The house number, we're going to put in the house number. All right. And the street is, and then the type is, and then the direction is, all right. So you put in here. So the type is actually terrace and the direction is southwest. And then the zip code, forgot what the zip code is. I think it's this one here. Okay. We're going to click on find tax data and something went wrong, right? Well, I can guarantee you that if I remove this and I click on find tax data, we'll find the property. Sometimes that southwest and that terrace doesn't match. And the reason why is because I put two R's instead of one. So TER would have been here where it says type. Instead of TERR, it was TER. So if I just removed the type and the direction, I should be able to find the property. There it is. Hit select. We're about to import all this data into the listing. All right, now let's click on show more data and you see how it's all pre-filled, legal description. Okay, we have information pre-filled. We even have who owns the property pre-filled. See here, transaction participants. We have here the seller's name. All right, the seller's name already in here. All right, go ahead and click on save data. All right. So let's go ahead and add a forms package. Let's click on exclusive right to sell. And here are the forms in the package to exclusive right to sell. I'm a little confused why I did not add it before. Didn't I select it? Thought I did. But anyways, here it is. We're going to go ahead and add what? We're going to add the exclusive right to sell, listing agreement, transaction broker. We're going to remove modification to a listing agreement. Guys, you don't need that right now. We're going to remove the short sale addendum. We're going to remove the commission agreement and we're going to remove the referral agreement. All right. Only leave this one here. And then let's go ahead and click on add to a transaction. There are other things that you may have to add, right? If the property was built in 1978 or before, you are going to have to add the lead base paint disclosure. And you're going to have to add things, not the disclosure itself, that's the buyer who's going to present that, but you're going to have to add the lead-based pamphlet, okay? And eventually you will also need a seller's disclosure. But for now, guys, you're going to the listing presentation, just take the listing agreement, okay? Open it up. It should be pre-filled already with everything that we have filled out, right? You got here the name of the owner. You've got our brokerage, right? We're going to go ahead and say we're going to begin this listing agreement on the 25th of May, and it's going to end 6 months later. And let's go with the 24th of November. All right, go through all of this here. All right, pricing and terms. We're gonna go ahead and what's gonna be the price and terms. This property is offered for sale on the following terms, on other terms acceptable to the seller. All right. Exclusive right of sale listing agreement. Go through this, enter all the information you want to enter, and then save it and take it with you to your presentation. When it comes to the commission, guys, remember that coming up this summer, sometime in August, I believe now, the new rules will take place. And we are not going to be talking commissions anymore. We're going to be talking concessions or yeah, concessions pretty much. And things will be different on the MLS. For now, this is what we see. All right. So we are going to be charging 6%, 5%, whatever it is of the purchase price to sell the home. And then what are you going to share with the cooperating brokerages? We already have it set to 3%. So if you got the listing at 5%, if you're getting the listing at 5%, then you want to make sure you come down here and you change this to 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. If you got the listing at 6%, then leave it at 3.0. If you got the listing at 4% and you're going to offer half of your commission, then you're going to switch this to 2%. Okay. All right, just go through this here, guys, and go ahead and save it and take this listing agreement with you on your presentation. Right? Take this listing agreement with you in your presentation. You want to go ahead and download it. All right, where do you download it? You have print right here, you have save, you have right over here fax, emails, e-sign, and download. If you close it, you'll be able to select it right here, and you'll be able to download this to your computer and take it with you to your presentation. All right, don't wait for them to make up their decision. If you're there and you're there now 30 minutes, 45 minutes, then it's a good, it's you have a good chance of getting the listing. So present this agreement, and while they're signing it, ask if you can go around and take pictures of the property already. All right, even if you're going to hire a professional photographer, go ahead and take a few pictures with your cell phone, because when you list a property in the MLS, you should list it already with a few pictures. And then when you get the professional photos, you want to go ahead and upload the professional photos. So as they are signing this, ask if it's okay for you to go and take a few pictures. All right, guys. So we are now complete with our listing agreement. Go to your presentation, get that listing, then come back to the MLS. And what's next? Of course, you're going to add the listing into the MLS. So you're going to go more. You're going to click on add, edit. You're going to click on add new. You're going to select single family home, Miami-Dade County. Put in here the house number. Put in here the street number. Click on search. There it is. Click on fill. And then move on from section to section to section, completing everything that's in yellow. We have a class for you called listing maintenance, which we've had in the past, and there are several videos in our playlist of videos that you can watch on how to enter a listing. So of course, your next step, once you get back to the office or your home and you have that listing agreement signed, is you want to get that listing up in the MLS right away. They want to see it. They want to see it up on the MLS right away. Don't waste time. Okay. So go ahead and upload the MLS listing, go through every single section. You need to answer everything that's in yellow. All right. So go through every single section. Make sure you answer everything that's in yellow. You answer it correctly. In the remarks section, you're going to make sure you describe the property to the best of your ability. Do not use any type of branding. Do not place your name, your phone number, your email address in remarks. It is a violation of MLS rules. For special instructions to realtors like ourselves, you're going to place those in the broker remarks right here. So in the broker remarks, you can place, hey, call me for a listing appointment. My phone number is 786, So again, that type of information can go under broker remarks. And lastly, internet remarks. This is something that you guys are going to use to describe the property on the internet. Okay, so go through this. And then lastly, you want to go ahead and submit the listing down here by clicking on submit listing. If you are not finished, you want to save it as an incomplete, you can save it as an incomplete. Once you submit the listing, then you're going to go ahead and add photos. It goes to the next section, which has you adding photos to the property. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out. I don't want to enter a listing today. And then where would you go to set up an open house? So you now got the listing and you want to set up an open house for Sunday. Okay. You're going to go once again to more and you're going to go to add edit. You're going to look up your listings, right? So you're going to have here a drop down menu with your listings, select it. And then one of the options below will be open house and just enter the details of the open house. You can also go to my matrix, my listings, select the listing, and then come down here. You can edit the listing. You can manage the photos. You can manage the attachments. So when you click on edit listing, all right, it's not letting me because it's not my listing, of course. But when you click on that, then you'll have an opportunity right there to add an open house. All right. Any questions on what we just went through, guys? Remember, we do have an affiliated photographer that charges right around $200 to $250. It can do the whole photography, drone package, everything. Please contact our help center and find out more information on our photographer. You should hire a photographer to take photos. I mean, let's have professional photos. Even though our cellular devices take really great photos, you want to show the seller that you are going to do very high quality photos for them. Okay. Take advantage of some of the marketing tools you can have in Agent 3000. You guys can build a single property website. So you can build a website for that listing. You can build flyers. You can do multiple flyers, open house flyers, just listed flyers. So much so that you can do with Agent 3000. So you can market that listing. All right. Lastly, guys, inside the MLS, you want to go here and you want to configure your showing time. All right. You want to configure your showing time. By doing so, you're able to go now to your listings on the left. You're going to click on your listing. That's going to show up here. And you're going to set the times that you are going to allow people to see the home. So, for example, if you want to set the hours to 10 in the morning to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday, right? You're gonna go to your listing, you're gonna set it up, and you're gonna say, all right, showings are allowed between 10 and 7 p.m. All right, 10 in the morning to 7 p.m. on Monday through Fridays. Like that, when people schedule a showing through the MLS, through showing time, they will see the allowed times for their showings. And that's going to be through showing time, which you're going to find inside of your external links in the MLS matrix. All right, guys. So we did a complete run through of everything you should do to prepare that listing presentation to go and to get that listing and place it on the MLS and sell it. Does anyone here have any questions before we conclude? Smooth recording. No questions today. All right, guys. So if no more questions, then thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure teaching this to you, and I hope that everyone has a great rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you next week, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Robert. Happy holiday weekend.
Likewise, thank you. Long weekend, baby.
Thank you.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye. You too.